Friends, it is getting chilly outside, it's getting colder, and with that in mind, it's time to take a look at 15 of the absolute best designer fragrances for winter 2024/2025. Unless you're in the Southern Hemisphere. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere, how's summer? Hopefully it's nice. These ones I'm about to talk to you about, if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, hold off on it. Hold off on wearing these. All the fragrances I'm going to talk to you about are linked in the description. Let's get started right away with this one, Male Elixir. I legitimately was just fishing around.
Knocking stuff over, denting up my bottles.
Oh, by the way, I did try to keep this different from my top 10 designer list, the top 10 that I want to wear this winter. So you're not going to see much overlap there. But if you want to check out my personal top 10 for this winter, check out that list. Those are the ones I'm looking forward to wearing the most. So yeah, first off, Male Elixir. This one, in my opinion, absolutely stunning. And I actually had it in my top 10 for fall and also as my favorite release of the year last year. So this is sort of an evolution of the Male DNA, obviously made much warmer, sweeter, has a great honeyed aspect to it, a little bit of tobacco in there as well. Also similar to Male de Parfum. This one is a big compliment puller, very versatile, though it does lean a little bit more toward nighttime use. It is a little bit of a hype beast and used to be a little bit more difficult to find, but now you can find it at discounters without too much issue and at full retail. And that's one that I think is actually worth full retail. Next, let's do this one. This is Bad Boy Extreme. This has really good performance. So this is gonna cut through the cold. It has that bad boy DNA to it, which is actually very good for compliments, very versatile for cooler weather. Has like a slight tropical touch to it almost, and nuttiness as well. And it reminds some people of Invictus Victory Elixir. So kind of like taking bits of that fragrance and mixing it with the bad boy DNA. It's very warm, sweet, has tobacco, patchouli, and cacao in there. And this is one that gets overlooked a lot of times, at least as far as the Bad Boy lineup is concerned. Bad Boy Cobalt, probably the one that gets the most hype, but this one is worth knowing about, worth checking out. Really good for winter. Let's get biased up in here with West Loop. It's released underneath the Michael Malone brand, so Michael Malone X Gents is my line of fragrances that I creatively directed. You've got them all right here. So this one, West Loop, then there's Edgewater, South Slope, Terra Nova, and Jet Black Enigma. For cooler weather, this one and Jet Black Enigma are gonna be your best bet. This one and South Slope are the best sellers. South Slope used to be called Blue Ridge. There's a whole other video about that. But that one is more like a blue fragrance, fresh, a little bit sweet, super easy to wear, really good compliment puller. This one better suited for fall and winter time. And this one has a unique sweetness to it. So there's this floral aspect that's around the edge of the scent that makes it very appealing to women, both in terms of how it smells and also sometimes makes them still the fragrance and wear it themselves, but that's fine. So in terms of notes, there's almond blossom, there's toasted cinnamon, vanilla orchid, myrrh, tobacco leaf, lavender, a little bit of amberwood, and tonka as well. And this is one that lingers for a long time and in the air smells amazing. That's where I like this the most. Up close, it smells good, really nice, extremely pleasant, but in the air, it's like 10 times better. So the sillage that you have going on with this one is just magnetic. So you can go into every fragrance outlet or Perfumania store and check those out. You can spray them on. You can also find them on Michael Malone's website, which is linked in the description, and there's a code for that one, GENTSENSE. And here are a bunch of other codes you can use across a multitude of different websites. The JOMASHOP codes only work within the app, but you can use those to save some extra money. And then the Perfume Box, Max Aroma, Fragflex, you can save more money off those websites as well using those codes. Next fragrance is Myself Le Parfum from Yves Saint Laurent. Similar idea to the original Myself. Take a fragrance that's very clean, easy to wear, classy, and simple, but make it a little bit deeper, slightly bolder, sweeter, warmer. That's what this is, and it works extremely well in the cooler months. It's a big compliment puller, and it's the type of scent you can wear whenever you want. Myself is extremely popular, one of the most popular fragrance lines for men, period, nowadays. And this one is essentially, like I said, just taking that original DNA, that original style, and making it for cooler weather. The One Eau de Parfum up next, and I gotta be honest here, I was gonna go with the One Luminous Night. And then I was like, well, the One Luminous Night, so hard to find, so expensive. It smells amazing, but it's just not easy to find in the US. Then I was like, well, what about the One Royal Night? That one used to be much easier to find than the One Luminous Night. Well, not anymore. The One Royal Night has gone the way of Luminous Night, and now, at least as of this video, really just available on eBay, and people are asking like $150 up to $250 a bottle. So that's great, and that led me to just tried, tested, and true the One Eau de Parfum. Now, one thing with this, performance not massive. So if it's the middle of winter and you're wanting something that's gonna really cut through the cold, that is not this. It's not that it's weak, it's just not strong. So kind of average. But it does work so well on a date because this is that magnetic, alluring, very sexy type of scent profile. Sweet, warm, spicy, excellently done, enormously appealing, and just that type of scent that works to draw people in. Now, you don't have to wear it on only dates. You can wear this lots of different situations. It's just that's where most people think of this as being best. And the One Eau de Parfum is one of my most complimented fragrances of all time. Back when I used to wear this with some regularity, it always got me noticed. I know what you're thinking, how would that get you noticed when you just said it's not that strong, it's average? Well, two reasons. First off, spray on a little more. Second off, it's got that magnetic scent profile. When people smell that in the air, they kind of want to come in and get another whiff, and they'll ask you, what is that? Is that you? And you say, yeah, that's me. I'm feeling pretty good. Let's go with this one next. Man in Black from Bvlgari. Man in Black at this point, almost like a little classic for winter time. I mean, it's not been out for that long, but it's one of those ones that's just easy to wear that you keep going back to. And this one does push. This one has nice projection, good longevity, so you don't have to worry about that. And it smells similar to Spice Bomb, the original one, in a lot of ways, but it's got a little more going on than Spice Bomb, and to me, it's less aggressive off the top. So the original Spice Bomb, also fantastic release, but that one, when you first spray it on, some people are like, oh, it's a little bit much. This one is smoother, sweeter, has a great boozy aspect to it, tobacco and leather also. Just absolutely killer for cool weather, fantastic. And since we're talking Spice Bomb, Extreme. Also want to say Spice Bomb Infrared Eau de Parfum, a really good choice for wintertime. If you're looking for something that's a little bit sweeter, then go for that one, Spice Bomb Infrared Eau de Parfum. That one has more of like a fruity sweetness, more of like a playful sweetness. Spice Bomb Extreme has sweetness, but it's this black vanilla that's in there. Also does have a lot of spice off the top like the original Spice Bomb, but this one is, again, a little bit smoother than that one. Higher end with amazing performance. And another big compliment puller. Let's go Dior Fahrenheit Le Parfum. So this one is another one that has beast performance. Lasts a very long time, projects extremely well. It's not super cheap, so there is that. To be fair, I think most people would not expect a Dior Parfum to be cheap, so it's not like it's a surprise. And this is gonna have that Fahrenheit DNA, that kind of petrol gasoline aspect, but it's not as in your face. It's definitely subdued, reined in. You have additional sweetness in here, more of a vanilla aspect going on, some nice booziness as well. So it's elegant and sophisticated with a nice underlying, like very lightly sticky vanilla. Smells awesome. And that touch, that little touch of that violet leather petrol aspect that you get helps elevate this one, really helps it stand out. Let's be honest, not a whole heck of a lot of people are wearing the original Fahrenheit nowadays, so like I said, this is gonna help you stand out against all the other fragrances out there, and the sweetness that this does have does help it feel a little more contemporary. Versace Oud Noir is my next choice, one of my personal favorite designer oud fragrances on the market. Really good looking presentation with this one. Love that color scheme, the kind of black and gold makes it look great. And this gets compared to Tom Ford's Oud Wood, kind of in that overall style, only obviously much cheaper. If you do spray them on side by side, you will notice quite a lot of differences though between this and Oud Wood, but definitely gonna get you in that similar mindset. So this is very spicy, slightly medicinal, but it doesn't go, you know, overly animalic or anything like that. A nice, easy to wear oud that has kind of like a mysterious edge to it. Great quality for the price point from discounters. A lovely, lovely scent. And I really wish that Versace would come out with some more Pour Homme fragrances, because in this bottle style, you basically have the original Versace Pour Homme. You've got this one and then Dylan Blue. And That's about it. So they were like, okay, here's your designer oud, there's your designer blue fragrance, there's your designer freshy day-to-day scent, and we're done. Give us some more. Let's go with this one up next, Boss Bottled Elixir, which has a cap that just does not want to stay on there. It clicks into place technically, but definitely just a technicality. So Boss Bottled Elixir has been kind of overshadowed a little bit by Boss Bottled Absolute, which came out earlier this year. But this is still darn good. It sort of follows in the footsteps of Sauvage Elixir that came out before it. You know, it's that woody, spicy, very masculine scent profile that feels like it's a little bit inspired by fragrances from the past. That's what's going on here. In terms of notes, it's not overly complex. Basically, you have frankincense, cardamom, vetiver, labdanum, cedar, and patchouli. So like I said, woods, spices, touch of sweetness underneath it all. That's kind of what's going on. And it has great performance once again. So you get a lot of bang for your buck. And for an elixir fragrance, for an elixir branded flanker, I should say, it's actually not insanely expensive at full retail. It's not cheap, it's like $140, but that's cheaper than a lot of the other ones out there. And at discounters, you can find it, you know, between 80 and 100 bucks a lot of the time, which again, for how this smells, for the quality, pretty nice. Let's go to another Jean Paul Gaultier, another gold Jean Paul Gaultier. This one is Scandal Absolute, and that's another one that I really, really like. This is one of my favorite releases of this year. It's gonna play in that the most wanted, stronger with you kind of ballpark. Basically, if you like one of those fragrances, you should like this one. But this one may be even better than those, just the way it comes across. Excellent. Is good. So in terms of note breakdown, pretty simple. Chestnut, Mirabelle plum, and sandalwood. Yeah, it's one of those fragrances, a whole 3 notes. But once again, you're getting excellent performance here. So you are getting that quality, that bang for your buck in a wintertime fragrance, something that's gonna last a long time, something that's gonna get you noticed. And it's this great mix of like very sweet and warm with aspects of freshness when you first spray it on. As I said before, you know, it could remind you a little bit of fragrances in that the most wanted, stronger with you style, though it's not the same as any of those or even super similar. Actually, the way that it opens with that sort of plum freshness with sweetness underneath is vaguely reminiscent of 1 Million Lucky. Just if you took that and tuned it even more toward cooler weather. Absolutely amazing. This stuff gets the job done every time. And since we were talking stronger with you, here is a stronger with you. This one is Absolutely, which is my personal favorite, until they release something even better, which honestly, they've come with fragrances that, depending on the day, I may go for over this one. Like Stronger With You Leather, really good. Stronger With You Oud, Stronger With You Tobacco, Stronger With You Intensely. All of those are also really good. So this one has chestnut, you know, like I just said with that, you have that in this fragrance as well. Also has vanilla, it has rum, lavender, and some woody notes also. Again, great performance. Kind of goes without saying, like the only one here that has performance that's is this one, really. I didn't mean to single you out like that, man, but it's kind of is what it is. Sorry, bud. So this one keeps that glazed chestnut, that Stronger With You DNA at the forefront of the fragrance, but it adds a nice boozy warmth off the top. I think technically it's golden rum that's used in here, and then has a really sexy vanilla that you can pick up in the opening and lingers all the way into the dry down. Let's go with some iris up next with Gentleman Eau de Parfum. Now, a lot of times people would go for Reserve Privé if we're talking about fall and winter time, but I think I need to show a little love to this one because almost gets forgotten sometimes nowadays, but it is still extremely well done. Another one with good longevity. Projection is more average, maybe slightly above average, but still lasts a very long time. In terms of notes, this one has iris, it's got vanilla, Tolu balsam, tonka, clove, cinnamon, little black pepper and lavender as well. And this one sits kind of close to, you know, Valentino Uomo Intense or Dior Homme Intense, kind of in that wheelhouse. But most of the time, this one is easier to find. It's often going to be cheaper than those two, but in terms of quality, it's right there. A great, sweet, but dark and sexy iris fragrance. Yes, a little bit makeup-y, slightly creamy, but that spiciness is gonna help set this one apart from those other two, the Valentino and the Dior. Then we got Spicy Leather from Ferragamo. This one, for whatever reason, just never really pops up at discounters, or with rarity it pops up. Not very common to see this one, but you can find it at full retail, and at full retail it's not crazy expensive. I think it's a little bit under $120 at full retail, but when it does pop up at discounters, it's like 65 bucks. So basically half price, or right around half price. And if you can get it for that, it is a steal. Even at full retail, it's not bad. In terms of notes, of course, it has leather in there. It does have spices, hence the name. Mainly saffron, a little bit of pepper and nutmeg as well. Essentially, it's a sweet, spicy leather where the leather is not animalic. It's kept in that very wearable designer realm with solid performance. Not amazing, but solid enough to get you noticed, enough to last through the day or the evening. And it's just a really great kind of change of pace fragrance because it does have that touch, that kick of leather. But again, as I said, very wearable. But that's gonna help set it apart from pretty much everything else that I have sitting right here, while still being very easy to approach. And since we're talking leather, here's one more, Ombré Leather. And this is the last of the video, the last of the list. I don't need you. Everybody knows Ombré Leather. It is one of the most popular men's leather fragrances on the market today. And of course, everybody knows Tom Ford, which means you know this is pricey. Yes, it is. It's probably the most expensive thing here. I think the only thing that could come close is the Fahrenheit Parfum, but I do believe that Ombré Leather is more expensive overall. Because at retail, for a 100 ml, this is like $240, $240, not $2.40. And at discounters, it's still like $120 to $130, I think, generally around there, which is a great deal. I mean, that's like half off, but it's still expensive, comparatively speaking. In terms of notes, it has leather, it's got jasmine, it has cardamom, amber, moss, and patchouli. And this is a very supple, but sweet leather with solid performance. Definitely less in your face than Tom Ford Tuscan leather that came before it. Less aggressive, which makes it more appealing. And in terms of just overall classy, sexy leather fragrances, this is one of the best you can get in the designer realm, period. There we go, guys. 15 fragrances that during wintertime will absolutely have you smelling amazing. There's pretty much something for everybody here. There's more sweet, warm style fragrances. There are fragrances that are more woody, more spicy, just a lot of different things going on. I want to thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.